Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Zilah. Welcome to my apartment in East Hollywood. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Zilah Drahn. I'm the founder of Plants and Spaces, based in East Hollywood, Los Angeles, and we're in my home in East LA. My apartment is in East Hollywood, and I found it on Craigslist, and it had terrible photos, and I knew based on some of these like glitchy pictures that there was some charm. I love the kind of entryways, the round entryways, kind of Spanish style. I love the old tiles. I love the little inlets. I love the fireplace. I just love a place that has character and a place that has history. And this place has been here since the 30s. And the garden, I think, was honestly the thing that stood out to me the most. It's been well taken care of, and it's just really beautiful, feels like a safe space for me. So growing up, I was very drawn instantly to plants just based on my mom and her love for plants. So she spent a lot of time in a garden, and I spent some time with her, but my abuelita would come regularly and take me out and just point out different plants and kind of share her knowledge. And that's where I really started liking and loving them. And then as I got older, I worked with plants kind of professionally off and on, but I spent a lot of time with growers, and I just asked them lots of questions. You just learn as you go, doing different research and finding people that specialize in certain plants. I started Plants and Spaces in 2019. I started it originally just because I had obviously a deep love for plants, and I was starting to see them in spaces, but I was seeing the same ones over and over and over in blogs or in magazines, and I was just noticing that some of them were placed in the wrong spaces based on their light. I had a couple friends in interior design, and they started asking me questions for their clients on where to place plants. And so I started working individually with a couple people and just consulting based on the light and the ventilation in the home or the space, what plants would do well. From there, I think it just kind of snowballed into this beautiful, I want to put cool plants in your space, and I also want to find cool planters. It kind of built itself, and I just started working on projects with individual clients, and then we opened a retail space a couple years ago, and yeah, now we're still thriving and growing, and I have an amazing team. And just mostly doing primarily project-based, but also the retail space is open now. Welcome to the living room. I wanted to show you this gorgeous Dracaena reflexa. It is a more tropical tree. They come from Hawaii. They're super easy to maintain, bright and direct light. A little bit of low light's okay. This one specifically is probably like 20 years old. This piece I found on Facebook Marketplace for literally $175. I thought it was this tiny little vessel that I was gonna get for a client's house, and then I showed up and it was this huge planter. So I decided to keep it. I also have this gorgeous Versera on the table. I had a chain making workshop with the ceramicist Jess, and we made these chains at Plants and Spaces, which was really fun. This kind of array just has different pieces from friends. This little candle holder from Denmark, so cute, from a friend. This is also a little candle holder, but it's rocks. So love this. This is my living room. Love this gorgeous Italian couch. So I was originally drawn to this living room because of the beams on the ceiling. So beautiful, kind of gives it some height. And then these gorgeous sconces. I think they just redid them. I think they were candlelit originally. I have a couple pieces in here from, like I said before, different antique stores and vintage markets. This is a wooden piece that's from the 40s, hand carved, so pretty. And then this gorgeous cork frame, probably from the 70s. I had to get it redone. It was in pieces when I bought it. With this cool bull Spanish photo. And it's so weird because literally everything I have is from Facebook Marketplace. So I need to actually look up maybe the designer of this. But this gorgeous cowhide chair, it's like the one place that I sit almost every day. The sun comes in so beautifully through this window, especially in the winter. This whole thing is one of my favorite pieces ever. I often do this in people's homes too, just like one special piece in a really cool ornate planter. This one's terracotta, but it's handmade, woven to look like a basket with some paintings on the top. It has the artist's name, but I could not tell you who it is. It's so beautiful. Probably again from 80s or 90s. But this pedestal piece has all of these tiles, this kind of mosaic. And then on this wall, I have this terracotta ceramic piece made by a Mexican blind artist who actually started going blind while he was making ceramics, and so he started touching his wife's face, and then almost every single piece that he makes now is of his wife, and he's blind. So beautiful. And then this ceramic piece came from a little town in Italy. I just walked into this woman's shop, and she just this cute tiny shop, and she just makes all this beautiful work. So those pieces. And then over here I have these kind of circusy curtains that I was talking about. Love them so much. And a little ludiciform here in a ceramic piece, again on a pedestal. I just really like to elevate things. I also need to keep things off the ground because of the bunnies. This little interesting wall, so cute. I have my first rabbit ever as an adult, Ashes, in this little piece. So sad. But I love like this kind of beautiful vase. I just use it for incense. This piece is also from that woman in Italy, small town. I obviously love these plant books from the 70s. So cool. Kind of inspired by something like this to create myself. And then, yeah, just honestly, lots of different ceramic pieces. This one's from a woman located super close by as well. And then I like to keep candy in another little jar. This is a phone box made by Muley. So pretty. This piece is so incredible. I found this, again, antiquing, for $20. It's a piece from the 80s, and I'm pretty sure it's just done with paper, thick paper, painted in this acrylic box. It's so beautiful. One of my favorite pieces, I think, in my house. I love statues. I just love having statues, and obviously can't believe this is my third pedestal in this room, but love this statue. And then over here we have a Pitira aquatica in this silver gorgeous vessel. And I have Just a couple, like this candle holder is gorgeous with the chain, little picture frame. I feel like we don't do this enough, having little pictures around the house. And then this philodendron, kind of old, I've had it for a while. And then I love this ribsalis up here on this column. I found this column through another vintage seller too. And I don't know, I just love like big things that kind of elevate and bring your eye upward. So I started designing obviously based on the style of the home, so old Spanish style, but I would describe my style as more a little bit quirky. So I like color, but not too much color in the space. I have these cool kind of circusy curtains and this like old Italian vintage couch, and almost everything that I have is vintage. So I love to source, again, like just like my planters, different little markets. And when I go on my travels, I really like having objects on my table just as reminders of different places that I've been and different places in life that I've been. So I would describe kind of my overall style as more vintage, kind of old styley, but also some 80s and a little bit of chrome and mirror and color. Here's the dining room. I have this piece over here, gorgeous ficus, and it's in this 1980s, it's an actual planter. It's so cool. Also found that antiquing. Then I also have this gorgeous lily pad piece that also, you guessed it, vintage, 1980s, my favorite. Beautiful, beautiful work. I have a love for lilies, lots of different lilies you'll see. Here I just have a little easel. I like to collage, so I just am working on this kind of bigger piece here. And then a plamelli that I love. These are also kind of more tropical pieces, really easy to maintain, bright and direct light. I don't know if you can see this, but I have a big hippo on the ground that I got from an estate sale. Again, love statues. And then over here, I have a couple pieces on the wall. This bottom piece with the butterflies is from Pasadena Antique Center. Such a good place to find little antiques. This photo of these rocks I found in Arizona, and it was just a film photograph, and I got it framed with this gorgeous kind of chrome. And then these horses I bought actually off Facebook Marketplace from a man downtown LA, and I love it so much. And then this piece is a piece that I designed with Muley, and it's a planter, so it has drainage below, and I also just put a little ceramic snake on it. So I found also the table and chairs on Facebook Marketplace. These are Italian vintage, and the table, I just love the chrome. I think a glass top can really keep your space open and feel kind of airy and less like there's a big object in the middle of the room. And then these green curtains I got at an estate sale. They're 1970s. They're so beautiful. And they definitely go with my whole kind of colorful vibe. The ceiling was actually already painted this pistachio green, which is literally Plants and Spaces green, when I moved in. So that I was really drawn to that. And I had that 1980s piece, that lamp put in a couple months ago. I love that. When I'm sourcing planters, I'm usually looking for something with a little patina, obviously character. I'm looking for materials, so metal, ceramic, something with a heavier material kind of can elevate the plant itself. But I love, again, something with a story, something older, something that has maybe a pattern on it or something like that. I also really like the 80s, so anything chrome or gold or silver. So I would say some tips on placing plants in your own space. Obviously, where your windows are, and trying to place them a bit away, like a foot away from any windows. It doesn't really matter if it's north, south, east, or west. You're getting natural light to begin with. So in an area that's closer to a window, but I don't really think you ever need to overwhelm a space with too many plants. And I think carefully picking the type of plant in terms of like how big will it grow and where your focal points are. So when you walk into a space, are you gonna see it? Or when you're sitting somewhere, are you gonna see it? So like on your couch, you kind of want it visually where you're gonna be able to look at it and admire it, because I think they feel that from us as well. But I think just overall not overwhelming the space and just choosing like little moments, like your coffee table or your console, or like one big moment like this tree that I have or something like that. Come on into my kitchen. It is this buttery yellow from Backdrops, so beautiful. I have this Mexican piece, wooden piece. I got that at a garage sale, so cool. And then up here I have some rare plants. This is a Monstera Thai constellation and a rare anthurium that's still kind of acclimating to our warmer weather in LA. And then I have a couple different things over here. I love like the influence of Mexican culture, and that cross is also Mexican. This beautiful kind of Arctic piece. The blues and the yellows really work well together. And then I have this philodendron micans. I've had it for a couple years now. So pretty. I think any kind of little like bistro curtain is fun. And I have this gorgeous philodendron here that's like overgrown and in this beautiful ceramic piece. So pretty. All the tiles here are original too, all these yellow and black tiles, and I kind of just had to go with it with the yellow. Over here I have this Cancer plate that I love, again kind of drawing in the blues and the yellows together. And then this, again, kind of, I don't know, this Mexican kind of vibe in here. I got this jaguar and this piece on separate travels in Mexico. And then this piece is from Luke Forsyth. And I have a couple cuttings here, so fun. And then here I have this little kind of wall moment. I actually have to close the rabbits out of the kitchen. One, they follow me to the fridge every single morning, and then two, Ghosty has eaten the cord of the oven multiple times, which is very expensive and very dangerous. So I have this swan piece that's just gorgeous, kind of gives it another little quirky feel. I recently painted my bedroom this soft, dusty blue, and I was a little nervous for it to be too dark or really overwhelming, and I love it so much. It's super calming and really peaceful. And one thing that I think is really silly is we all have these little, like, we grow up with these core almost values of like, you can't mix these colors, you can't do this, you can't do this. And one thing that I remember was someone saying, you can't do brown and blue. And my whole bedroom is brown and blue. It's like this burl wood mixed with this dusty blue and this kind of like soft camel curtain. mixed with the blue, and it's like so beautiful and a little bit moody, but not too dark. So I'm loving that at the moment. And I do have a lot of really beautiful small little tchotchkes and objects that I've collected over time that are really precious to me, that again just remind me of like where I've been and where I've come from and where I'm at now. I think what makes a home come alive is honestly like what you're bringing into the space and your energy, which obviously is so much of the reason why I work with plants, like bringing life into a space and bringing art, which your plants can also translate to art. But I think just the same things that I'm saying, like the things of where you came from and things from that you've collected over time from different places with different people, and all of these little objects, and including all of the vintage things that all have their past stories, kind of everything bringing a story together and feeling those things all kind of working together to make this kind of life. I don't know how to explain it, but welcome to my bedroom. Over here we have this gorgeous, huge candle from Pearson Ward. I found this pedestal piece again, antiquing, so cool. And this little piece, again, antiquing, my goodness, but so pretty. Just a little ocean view. I have a little plamelli here. This used to be a couple different stems, and I came in one day to my rabbits chewing on half of it. So it looks like this now, which is very Plants and Spaces-esque. These are the camel curtains that I was talking about, just light linen, kind of lets a lot of light still come in through the room. I have this cissus up here in this planter that also designed with muley. So fun, super cute little chrome piece inspired by 1930s, 1940s. This lamp, also vintage from the 70s. Love to mix in the chromes with the burl and the blue. The blue is like this dusty kind of, this is from Quinn's, it's a linen set, and super airy and breathable, so comfortable, one, but also just such a beautiful color and goes really well with the contrast of the lighter blue wall color. This art that I have up here was made by a friend named Anouk Amont. She lives in Greece. And I actually pulled this piece and I took it to Jill's Paint and Atwater, and I had them color match this blue color for the walls. So this whole room's inspired by this little piece. And this piece is from Casa Victoria in Echo Park. It is an old saddle, a vintage horse saddle, and it's just so beautiful and really heavy and just brings kind of a big piece to ground into the space. The word home means, to me, it means a place of like safety and rest and recharging, and a place that you can be obviously completely yourself and enjoy your friends and your family, and like a place of deep feeling and deep laughter and deep sorrow, a place where you have experienced so many emotions. And I think that's why it's so fun to have different pieces that tell a different story, because they've all had their own separate emotions, and being able to just feel and be yourself at your home. Thanks so much, Homeworthy, for coming and seeing my space. I have to get to Plants and Spaces now. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.